the rust never stops. We're now creeping up around the window frame. So I'd cut a small section, then I'd cut small, to keep going up until the rust stops, but it didn't stop, it kept going all the way up.
Well, welcome to a new Dave's Workshop Tours video, and as you can see, I'm back at Vintique Moto featuring the rest of the jobs in varying degrees of completion. I had hoped to feature a shakedown drive out in the completed Mk1 Escort, but the timing just wasn't kind to us, and it's now in the hands of its happy owner. So sit back and wonder at the work Max takes on. It really is a testament to his meticulous nature, and the fact that what were once regarded as basket cases fit only for the crusher are now, thanks to rising values, considered worthy of restoring.
They used to be really bad, but a lot of the parts are getting a lot better, like the Holden. I've got a Holden Monaro over there. They had a really bad problem with the top scuttle panel. Now, apparently they sent the dies over to there to get them stamped. The original dies that they brought off Holden when the Holden closed down.
They must be a bit worn out though, weren't they?
Well, no, they're actually really, really good. I think they, Spears, or was somebody else, or Spears, one of them. They brought them, sent them over there, and they were still getting these non-rounded edges. The edges were too round and weren't sharp enough. I'll show you what I'm talking about. The edges here were too round, and they weren't fitting the cars properly. So the guys went over to the factory where they were getting them made, and they saw the dies were sitting underneath the bench. This is the story I heard. They said, well, if you're not going to use our dies, we're not going to use you. So they started using the proper dies, because apparently they do cement moulds. It's a cement resin mould. They stamp out about 100, throw the mould away, and then cast another one. Stamp out 100, then cast another one. It was cheaper for them. But they had these steel moulds under the bench that they took the moulds from. So anyway, they started using the moulds apparently, and they were a lot better result. This wasn't that bad to fit at all. Mind you, I haven't got the front fenders on yet, so we'll find out from there. But everything can be a little, not modified, but fettled to fit.
We've jumped ahead of one or two here, but this is quite an iconic Australian car.
Yes, this was the first of the HQs. So it was actually in the Warwick yellow, which is quite rare. Usually the Warwick yellow was for the HGs and Ks and stuff like that. The Norm Beecham racing car was the Warwick yellow.
And there's Norm Beecham in his Holden Monaro. He's got past both Bob, Jane and Gagan as though they were standing still. And he's after Moffat the leader. The Monaro's unbelievably fast. Moffat had better watch out. And now he's on his tail. Look at Beecham pressuring the Mustang. The Monaro's winning hands down in the power department, but the Mustang's got an advantage under brakes and Moffat's clinging to his lead. This is a fantastic race for Beecham's new car, a homemade car, stirring up an expensive factory special.
So to have this one in that colour is quite a rare.
And what year would this be?
Jeez, you're pushing the bloody envelope now. First of the HQs, I had no idea what that is. As I said, I do the metalwork, the numbers and stuff like that kind of go. This came without a floor, without seals. It was well jigged up, already had the frame on it, so I've pretty much having to start it from the bottom up. The cowl wasn't that bad, and then the front firewall wasn't bad actually. We just had to replace a little bit at the top, and some probably from here down. This is the most difficult part at the bottom of the A-pillar. So I've pretty much replaced from there down, inside and out, on both sides.
And presumably, coming out of the factory with this car, the shut lines and what have you weren't as particular as a 356.
No.
How are you going to better them, or do you go to the fact? Can you better them?
Yes, I can. I deal with a lot of Mustangs and American cars as well, and I like getting an even gap all the way through. It just looks weird. I mean, you can see on the Porsche over here, if you scan over to the door on that one, I like to get them all, and if you go down to the side, you can see the alignment and the gaps are pretty much perfect. And I still leave them a little bit wider on the Porsche because I know that it's still going to have paint, so it's going to fill up that gap a little bit more. So I do make sure the painter is rubbing it to a certain gap when he's rubbing it down.
Okay, so we go Cinquecento.
Yeah. So a little Fiat there. Oop. It's little welding thing that I'm making out of the way. So yeah, these really suffer. Bad.
Were they sold in Australia?
Yes.
It was not an
Yes,
import,
this is right-hand drive. I don't know if it was an Australian import. I don't know the full history of it. It's a little 500D, which is the more sought after one. But it had quite an accident. So the front's been pushed back so far, so I've had to pull it all back, get new warehouses for the front of it, and new floor. So I've kind of framed it up at the moment. They're so light, and they move so easy.
And the popularity of these now, there's meant a lot more suppliers coming.
Yeah, you can pretty much get everything. But the only thing is, I got the inner wheelhouses for them, and it's the only ones you can get, but they are for the later model Fiats. So I'm having to redo, this is a bit that I've had to take out, so I'm having to redo the holes to fit this pattern. And this was all bent and everything through here was all bent, so yeah, just trying to get it all straight again and lay it all down. I've got to get back onto it soon actually. And this is a fender off in a 3100 Chevy truck, and we are Frenching the headlights backwards a bit, the owner. So we've got special buckets that he bought from America that I have to trim down. So it's essentially doing that.
Yeah.
And then there's another ring, which I don't, yes I do. Another ring kind of sits inside that. That will pretty much essentially do this, which is not a bad look. Look at that far one. Yeah, it's better. But this will all be blended onto the steel,
Yeah.
and it will be body colour. So the chrome ring will be sitting on the inside. So we've had to make special things, or going to make special things to hold the light back in that certain way, so it will still have adjustment as well, and some to retain the ring.
Cool. Okay, we've got a.
Well, I've got the Dodge Challenger, which is actually for sale. If anyone wants it, $25,000.
What year is it?
It's a 71 Dodge Challenger, same as the one in the movie Vanishing Point. That's the one.
Okay. Well, I can't see that at the moment, but I can see a Karmann Ghia.
Karmann Ghia. So again, this one came in for a cosmetic restoration. It was bubbling out on the doors from ill repair, starting to veneer. The door gaps were starting to sag, so everything was starting to tell me that the usually when the doors drop, you have with these cars they're quite soft through the roof. The doors start to drop. That means you've got issues down and through the rails, and that's exactly what this one had. So, and you can see the bad repairs that have been done in the past, and it just starts pushing out rust and bubbles start to come out through the filler work. So we've done the seals on this side, but again the inner seals you get do not have that shape. They do not make them for the earlier model. You buy them and they come out kind of square for the later model ones. So I've had to graft sections of the new one onto the old one because it was all rotten underneath here. She's getting a bit dusty because of me doing the filler work on the Porsche. The whole place is dusty and dirty actually because of the Porsche. Yeah. So you can see on the seal that I've got on the other side there, I've already cut. You can see at the back of that inner seal, here it's square.
Right.
And down there where I've cut that section out.
Yeah.
So that's going to be grafted onto the original piece. That's still salvageable. And I'll do that, I'll go through and I'll try to keep as much of the original steel as I can.
Yeah.
If these new panels are in a different configuration, different shape. The rust never stops. We're now creeping up around the window frame. So we have to repair, because it was all rotten through here. This piece was rotten that holds the fender in its place. and then you get there and you're just looking behind and you just keep on following rust. So I'd cut a small section, then I'd cut small, do keep going up until the rust stops, but it didn't stop, keep going all the way up. So we have to replace that section, then make up. I tried to buy this outer, again from overseas in Europe. There was a place, but that sold out kind of thing. There was a guy making them in Europe, but he no longer does it. So a lot of the old guys are disappearing from this trade, and a lot of skills are being lost.
It's it's a big old problem I'm hearing time and again, ringing around and the shops and whatever. People are not coming back from COVID and what have you.
And these shows that say that these cars could be done in a week, you know, like we won't say which ones, but a lot of young people think they can get into this trade, and it's a quick kind of a quick high money paying job. It's not. It's a passion job more than anything. Yeah. And the only other vehicle we got is my old truck, which is my personal ride, which I've had for 7 years, and it's still not on the road.
The plumber's truck, huh?
That's it. The old it's a GMC. I've done the floor on the other side and the cowl section on the other side, but I've still got this side to do and a bit of floor on this side. And I'll put a custom shifter in there, shifter for the shifter.
What motor have you got in there? Or
it's only got the original stove bolt 6, and I'll probably keep it like that. I was going to put a V8 in it, but there's too many V8s in there. The price of fuel these days, you know. So I was going to, if I do keep the 6, I was thinking of putting that onto it, which is an old Powerdyne, something like that. Supercharger, which is a low comp motor, so it should be able to handle it. I don't think I'll run it at too high a pressure. It's probably just a low thing because I don't want to kill the motor. It ran like a clock, that motor. It'd be more as an ornament, you know. Fresh air fan. That's pretty much all it'll be. It's got airbags in the back, and it's had a drop axle in the front. It's a big drop going. It's almost like an 8-inch drop in the front.
But too much other work to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we've certainly got a wide array of cars. That,
I'd like to bit of a mix and a bit of flavours.
Well, we'll look forward to coming back and seeing the progress on some of these cars over time, if that's okay with you.
Exactly.
Thanks for inviting us along.
Not a problem, Dave. Thank you very much. Cheers.